choice. In the inaugural poem, The Hill We Climb, Amanda Gorman said, "The norms and notions of what just isn't always just is." School choice programs enable families to choose the type of school that they feel would be the best for their child and family. Opponents argue that school choice programs promote the well-being of some students at the expense of others. Well, which argument is right? In order to better understand this issue, we must first look back at the history of school choice, which can be traced back to 1957 and the Little Rock Nine.
I will not force my people to integrate against their will.
On September 4, 1957, the governor of Arkansas deployed the National Guard to block 9 black students in Little Rock, Arkansas, from attending Central High School in resistance to the Supreme Court's 1954 ruling in Brown versus Board of Education. President Eisenhower responded by federalizing the Arkansas National Guard and sending military troops to escort and protect the teens for the remainder of the school year. The resulting backlash from white segregationists resulted in many local governments implementing unscrupulous strategies to avoid complying with civil rights laws, such as by offering school choice vouchers to enable white children to attend separate whites-only private or charter schools. In addition to the Little Rock Nine, many other acts of history helped to pave the way for the creation of school choice programs. In 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson implemented the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, also known as ESEA, to help ensure equal rights and access to educational resources amidst a period of tenuous relationships and growing social unrest of the ongoing civil rights movement. In 2002, the Bush and Obama administration implemented the No Child Left Behind Act, also known as NCLB, which imposed high-stakes testing mandates with costly consequences for failure. The punitive accountability measures of the NCLB received fervent criticism, prompting drastic efforts to amend the federal government's role in educational policy. Amidst growing discontent with the accountability measures of the NCLB, President Obama signed the Every Student Succeeds Act, also known as ESSA, in 2015 as a result of significant compromises by both houses of Congress to ameliorate the deficits. The ESSA reduced the federal government's role in education policy to an extent not seen since the educational reforms of the civil rights movement. What can we learn from this lengthy history lesson? Over the past 60 years, the United States has undergone significant changes to arrive at our current place in history. Instead of attending their assigned public school, school choice offered parents the option to allocate their federal tax dollars toward a school of their choice that might better support their students' needs. Although specific programs vary, examples of school choice options include neighborhood public schools, charter schools, private schools, specialized magnet schools, online virtual schools, religion-based schools, and homeschool. School choice promotes parental empowerment, agency, and autonomy to support optimal student achievement. It also promotes competition between schools as they compete for enrollments that prompts them to make improvements to school quality and performance. It also offers individualized learning. By choosing the school that best suits a student's needs, interests, abilities, learning styles, and preferences, parents can support optimal achievement outcomes in their students. Problems with school choice. School choice programs reduce the public school funding available. By allocating tax dollars toward alternative school options, the funding available to public schools serving higher populations of low-income and racial minority students is reduced. School choice programs exacerbate the academic achievement gap. By enabling students to transfer from a failing district school into a school with better ratings and quality indicators, schools with lower quality ratings will end up serving higher populations of academically at-risk students, while higher performing students transfer to higher quality schools. As the American Civil Liberties Union explains, allowing students to transfer out of an underperforming school leaves the remaining students even more vulnerable. This presents the potential for school choice programs to disenfranchise vulnerable populations of students. Reciprocal determinism. The principles of Bandura's reciprocal determinism suggest that an individual is not solely the product of innate biological characteristics, nor the passive recipient of environmental forces. Although environmental factors impact our awareness and understanding, we exercise human agency by choosing to seek out those experiences that best suit our needs and interests, resulting in behaviors that further perpetuate the cycle. Reciprocal determinism continued. School choice programs offer families the opportunity to exercise personal agency in choosing the school environment best suited to their child. By engaging in the decision-making processes, families achieve a greater sense of self-efficacy to further enhance their motivation for supporting their child's academic success. Students left behind in failing public schools may struggle with a lack of quality education that hinders their successful achievement. As they come to identify with the characteristics of an impoverished education, they develop self-concepts that further reduce their ability to achieve success. Students demonstrate the principles of reciprocal determinism as they are influenced by their environments, which in turn influence their self-concepts to produce the behaviors and performances that lead to their academic outcomes. Social influence. This week marks the 10th anniversary of National School Choice Week, which is a campaign of public events to raise awareness and support for school choice programs across the United States. As these large-scale events are publicized and shared across media outlets and social networks, they gain increased support and continue to attract more followers. According to the principles of dissonance theory, once a person agrees to participate in one of these events, they are likely to become increasingly committed to the cause as they identify more reasons to justify their decision. The mass gatherings and events promoting school choice can also influence public opinion on the matter through the impact of groupthink, which describes the tendency to align one's views with those of the group rather than forming one's own conclusions based on facts and careful consideration. Researchers use several different methods to study the factors associated with school choice. Correlational research allows researchers to apply findings from related studies to examine the factors associated with school choice, such as test results and the level of diversity present in a school. Ethnographies examine the unique cultural experiences of population groups. Longitudinal analyses provide information on the long-term effects of school choice. Conclusion. Despite the progress our nation has made in the 60 years since Brown versus the Board of Education, pervasive inequities remain in American K-12 schools. School choice programs allow parents to choose the type of educational experience that will best suit the needs of their child and encourages competition among schools to improve the quality of all schools. Despite the potential benefits, there are concerns that diverting tax dollars toward private and charter schools will further reduce the funding available to public schools, disenfranchise certain populations of students, and exacerbate racial and socioeconomic disparities in academic achievement. While school choice may improve the circumstances of some students, those remaining in their assigned public schools might experience worsening conditions.